chapter. I'm fit, I'm raring to go, just want to play. So we're playing Chelsea in the FA Cup. I think Chelsea were the holders, we're playing at the Manor Ground on the Tuesday or the Wednesday in the week. And we're training. We went training on the Monday morning. And as you know, all the players are there just kicking a ball around, a cup of tea, having a chat, and lovely weather, lovely setting in Oxford. And next thing you know, this guy appears, big guy, in a 3/4 jacket. And he starts swearing. And this was about 9:30 in the morning, believe it or not. So all the lads are backing off now, moving away, telling him to get away, get security, even though we didn't have security. Get security, get someone, get him away. And he was swearing, and next thing you know, he's gone into his jacket and pulled out a kosh, right? So, and I didn't think anything of it. I'm thinking, well, I was obviously off his nuts. And so he started waving his kosh around, like this, wow. And all the lads are backing off now. Well, I've backed off behind this guy. I'm thinking, well, whatever happens, he ain't going to do nothing. And so he's put the kosh away, he starts swearing. Next thing you know, he's gone into his jacket again, he's pulled out a gun. So, obviously, things change, don't they, when you see a shooter? Don't know if anyone's ever had a gun pulled out on a
No, not recently. No.
You know, so he's pulled out this shooter. And all the lads now are screaming, like, you know, darting off, running. And I'm thinking, well, what? I don't know anyone really. I don't know Kevin. I'm thinking, well, what do I do? So I turned round, looked at me, and pointed the gun at me. And I've gone, I can't believe this. I said, I've only been here a day. Or two or 3 days. So these are pulling out a shooter on me. Oh, I can't believe it. So next thing you know, I've started to jog, and he's coming after me now with a gun. Right? He's coming after me with the gun. All I've heard is bang. I've gone, what? Was that a shot? So I don't know, when you get into, you always say, think about it. If someone's chasing you and they've got a gun, okay. But when you hear a bullet or when you hear a bang, you don't run that quick, because you're just waiting for it to hit you, right? So you can imagine like a Benny Hill scene when the geezer's legging after me and all across the training ground, and I'm going left and right, and he's coming after me, and all looking at is bang, bang. Obviously, I'm absolutely bricking it, and he's chasing me, and I'm thinking, how come he hasn't hit me? I'm literally like nearly crying now. So I kept on running, I'm running. Bang, bang, and he's still coming. And I thought I should be able to outrun him, but my legs, I couldn't move. They were like jelly. I'd absolutely gone. So I got to this big oak tree, and I thought, I can't run anymore. I'm just going to have to have it with him. And there's these old geezers. It was a golf course. I didn't have a clue where I was running. I didn't know the area. And there was these two old guys playing golf on the putting green, like they're doing shots like that. And I went, right. So I've just run over to the green, grabbed the geezer's putter off him, and said, mate, I said, I've got to have this. And he was, obviously, you can imagine what he was saying to me. He was going, mental thief, stop. So I need this. I just need it. So I got behind this big oak tree with this putter, and he's going mad at me, this old geezer. And the old guy with the gun is still coming at me. And all he said to me, he's putting the gun, I'm behind the tree, and he said, put the putter down, and I won't shoot. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute, how many shots has he had now? I'm going to take me. I'm going to risk it. He must have had about 6 shots, and I'm like, my adrenaline's pumping around, thoughts all going through my mind. I'm thinking. So I've got the golf club, and I've said, look, listen, let's go then. And I've just run into him, and thank Christ, I've tried to do as much damage as I could. Fine for my life. And I've hit him, and he had the kosh in one hand and the gun in the other. So he's put his hands up like this, and I've hit his hand. Blood's gone everywhere, pissing of blood everywhere. He's fallen to the floor. I'm just absolutely caning him in on now. So next thing you know, all the players are running over. It's mental. Like, you can imagine the pandemonium now. It's like, it's really bad. There's blood. Just noise. Some guys got me around the throat trying to strangle me. I understood then that was his son. And then he's on the floor, and all the players are jumping on me. And they said, it's a wind-up. And I said, what do you mean a wind-up? And apparently, this guy called Terry, he used to do it to every new player at Oxford. Used to put balaclavas on, go into the showers. So if you turned around, he'd be standing there with a shooter. They had players crying in the corner, like crying for their wives and kids. He did it to the England football team years ago, back in the 80s. So he was well known. And obviously I've left him on the floor, covered in blood, ambulance and everything. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to get nicked here. It's like attempted murder. And I've not even played. I've only played one game for him. I'm thinking, what is going on? I can't believe this is happening to me. And I've had to go with Big Kev, 6'7" Kev, who could just knock me out with one punch. And I'm starting to rip into him, saying, "How could you do this to me?" And then it was just absolute nuts, really bad. It made all the papers down there. Anyway, as time went on, I got a letter from the guy I hit suing me then for loss of earnings. He was a window cleaner by trade, and he couldn't work for 6 months because I smashed his hands into bits. And I'm thinking, this can't get any worse for me. I've had a bill come in from the old guy off the golf course, 145 quid for a putter. I don't even play golf. I ain't got a clue what was going on, how much the golf clubs are worth. So I said to the club, I said, I'm not paying anything. I said, you've set all this up to put me in fear. I said, look, some geezer could have died. And that was it, really. Just made all the press were around me down at Oxford after we played Chelsea. But I went into the Chelsea game a couple of days later, and my head was absolutely, as you can imagine, cabbage. Yeah. Like, I'd made such a bad impression in the first couple of days. I think the players must have thought, who on earth have we signed here? Every other player has been on the floor crying. And I've reacted like no other players ever reacted before. And
but they don't know Tatey though, do they?
Well, at the time, I was a bit of a lad when and I retired him. He went into retirement then, this guy. But he did try to sue me, and which I found I just couldn't believe. I thought after what he did, and it was I can't describe how scared I was when he pulled the gun out and started firing. I can't even now just send shivers down my spine. It was for them to do that to me.
Yeah, Adam Wilkes wants to know if you're waiting for a fare. You look like a cabbie.
Sorry about that, but as you know, today here in Portugal is holiday, but and because of that, the transfer window doesn't close today. You close tomorrow. So I'm in the car now. I'm still in Lisbon because of the transfers, and I think it was the best situation for me to have a calm and relaxed environment to talk with you.
Yeah. Cool. So talk us through your time with us then, Marcelo. You joined us in 1999 from Sheffield United. And your debut, you scored on your debut, didn't you, at Portsmouth? It was an absolute world. It was an absolute screamer.
It was against Queen's Park Rangers.
Oh, was it? I thought you scored
there. No, it was in London against Queen's Park Rangers.
I got something wrong, Chris. Yeah, what's going on? I must be slacking.
Can we play that over and over and over again later after the show?
And it was two. I scored 2 goals in this game.
2.
Yeah, I scored 2. So
I remember you getting a screamer against Portsmouth away. I thought that was your debut. Sorry, I must have.
No. I remember this goal, but it was not my debut. No, it was against Queen's Park Rangers, and I think we won 3-2. 3-2. Yeah. And I scored the second and the third.
Okay, yeah, brilliant. No, you said that. I do remember one of them was a great goal volley as well, wasn't it? From the edge of the box.
Outside of the box. Yeah. The second one was outside of the box. Yeah.
Did you enjoy your time at St Andrews, Marcelo?
Oh, very, very much. Yeah.
Yeah, and the story about your journey to Wembley as well was funny when Ricky was on.
Oh yeah.
I know there's another one. I was Ricky. I don't know if you can remember when we were in that nightclub, Tintin's opposite.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I can just about hear it. It's low.
Tintins, yeah.
Can someone turn it up?
I'll try and. I don't think I can go. I don't think I can.
You got your volume up. You got your volume up, Ricky. You got your volume up.
Yeah, I've got it up.
Yeah, I've turned it up a bit.
Yeah, we were in a nightclub. I mean, I didn't go out with Ricky that night, but I went into a nightclub called Tintin's. It was a rave club back in the day opposite New Street Station. It was a really good club. And I remember going in there through all the smoke and everything, and I seen I was completely off my rocker, and I saw Ricky sitting there with a girl in the corner on his own. Thinking, what is he doing here? Like, you know what I mean? He didn't tell me he was coming and all that. But that night, I don't know if you remember, Ricky, I got thrown down the stairs by the doorman. I ended up in hospital. I don't know if you knew that.
I remember that you was off your trolley. That's for sure.
This way, I don't remember the stairs. The stairs at Tilton's were so steep. I got thrown down by the doorman, and I went down every step, and I lay at the bottom with my head split in two, really. And I was that off my trolley. I was just laughing at the bottom of the stairs, and I was obviously carted off to hospital then. But
I just remember you was very jovial and just dancing everywhere. You couldn't keep still. You were just dancing everywhere. And I think from what I heard, someone must have kind of just shoved you out the way, and there was just a little bit of a bind, and the doorman came for you. Which was out of order, really, because I think most of the doormen, they knew you in Birmingham anyway, and knew, even though you was off your trolley, you wasn't a threat or danger to no one.
No, there was 3 guys. They pulled the knife out on me in the toilet, you see.
Was that what happened?
Right?
Yeah.
Really?
They pulled the knife out on me in the toilet, and obviously I didn't like it.
No. When would you?
So it just like sort of happened. Something happened, and it was yeah, I did. I got hurt by the doorman. They thought I did something, but it weren't me. But it was.
How did you explain that to Barry Finer today?
But
you just he was used to it.
Yeah, I wasn't in there long. I'd only had a few stitches in my head. Well, I don't know, about 7 or 8 stitches and that. And you just go back, don't you? Just get on with it. Just tell the physio I fell over. Just get on with it. Fell over at home again, and they used to go to me again. You fall over again.
Tait, do you remember when I remember when I was in London and I went out and I think I was coming back from Ministry of Sounds, probably about 7:30 in the morning, lovely summer's day, and I remember driving back to my mum's and I had the soft top down, lovely morning, just driving back. And as I came into Hackney, I remember there was 2 policemen driving behind me, but they were in an unmarked car. Anyway, they were following me, and obviously my registration on my car at the time, it's a green BMW convertible, M4 Otto. Yeah, so you know who it is. So I'm driving in Hackney, and this car, and I realised I didn't know it was unmarked, by the way, but they were just tailing me. Anyway, I turned down a particular road to go to my end, and I stuck my middle finger up to them around the other way, and so we kind of met while I just come out the car, and I was outside my mum's house, and I saw the police at the end of the road, and I was like, what? Because I'm legal, it's not a stolen car. I'm doing well for myself. What do you want? Anyway, they came and they searched me, and I forgot I had just one little spliff. Just one little spliff
Only takes one.
In my little pocket. And as soon as they searched me, as soon as they took it out, I said to myself, oh, man. So they took me to the police station. This is about 8 o'clock, and I was in the police station until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I came out, and I went and I had a friend that I took her for a drink, went to Covent Garden. Halfway through it, I got a phone call. Karen Brady's phoning me. The Gold Brothers are phoning me. Barry Fry's phoning me. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? Anyway, Barry Fry picked up the phone. Wait, where are you? I said, I'm in Covent Garden having a drink. What's up? He says, the bloody police. It's all over the news. You've been busted for drugs. Where am I? I said, Baz, it was just one little spliff. So you're not locked up? I says, no, I'm in Covent Garden. It's all right. I'm going to go tell Karen. It's just a spliff. Anyway, I came up Monday morning and I spoke to Karen, explained to them what the story was, and then the club had to speak to the rest of the players and say, look, if anyone else has been taking any substance in the last 5 days, will you just come to me? Tait came up to me, Rick, what you done, man? I've been on it all week. and about 4 or 5 players had to come up, and we had to go and get tested every week until it came out of our system.
Well,
I felt so guilty for you.
That was at the Sedgmere Sports and Social Club in Sheldon, where we used to train.
Yeah.
And I remember Baz said to us that if anyone has been doing anything silly, i.e. drugs or whatever, if you don't be clean and we test you, and you are found to be having your system, will sack you. So obviously I was a bit away with the fairies in those days, and I was found to be positive, and then I had to go to they put me in the clinic, Ricky. I don't know if you remember. I was put in the Woodbull Royal Clinic for 18 months. I was as an outpatient. Twice a week. I had to go for 18 months, Mondays and Thursdays. So thanks.
And Sean Kelly says, Martin, when you walk out to singing Keep Right On, how did it make you feel?
Oh, brilliant. Even now, it's like there's been some tweets with away days and they're singing it. I'll turn it up when I'm driving in the car. It's the best anthem ever.
I sing it all day long when I'm at work.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And it gets, especially when it's full, it gets louder and louder and louder. It's fantastic.
I'll tell you what, if you want to get, I tell you what, watching the Blues versus Liverpool Millennium, the beginning when they're being introduced, and it's Keep Right On and You'll Never Walk Alone together. Oh my God, that's goosebumps.
Fantastic.
That's goosebumps, isn't it?
Still not as noisy as Ipswich game, though.
No, that was noisy.
Nothing beats that.
Yeah. And what was it like playing against Sevilla?
Yeah, I was only lucky enough to play the once, but I'd like to have had the return at Villa Park just to see what that atmosphere was like as well. But it's just great, isn't it? I mean, we had friends in where we lived. They were Villa fans, and used to get stick all the time. And when we beat them, it was just brilliant. You just give that bit back. You know, just that little club on the A38, just on the outside of the city. You know, it's just all that time. It took 7 years to give them stick back.
Yeah, it was great.
You know? I wish I'd had a game at Villa Park as well.
The difference is, as support, like, we take that win against them, right?
Yeah,
and we take it through the summer with us. And it's the difference between having a summer full of barbecues or just stopping in with your hands on your head. And it's massive. That's it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. But it's a chance to get one over them on, isn't it? You know, so I had one game, one win, so 100%.
But for them, not just the players, not just the players. I remember, and of course, and I remember him with love in my heart. Was Brian Murphy. The guy who was in the training ground giving the tea, for all the players every day, was with a good words towards me. Even in the time that was not playing regularly, he was always with a good word, saying good things to me. So
it's really nice to say that. That's a really nice thing to say. Really, it's not very often.
I have him in my heart. Brian was a top guy. I know that he has some problems and he passed away, and I'm very sad because of that. But he's another person, not just the players, but another person that I miss a lot.
So thanks for that.
Sure.
Yeah. Sorry for putting you in it, but you know what happened? Do you know the following season, the club tried to get me on this so that they didn't have to pay me up my signing on fee. Because I remember I went on loan. I was on loan at Peterborough for 3 months. And then what the plan was is that the club wanted to get me in, just as the pre-season started. They wanted to get me in because I still had a year and a half left on my contract. They wanted to get me in for a drug test, because what the plan was is that if they found any substance in my system, then they can rip up my contract, and then I lose out on 30, 40 odd grand's worth of money.
How much?
No, but I'm talking about
that's where all the money went. I didn't see any of that.
I'm talking about because it was my signing on fee. It was my signing on fee every January, every July.
Give us a funny Barry story
that we can say.
Very well. I've got a few images of him when they first contacted me to go and meet him it was a PFA Awards at Grosvenor House Hotel. We went and knocked on the door. He had a Dickie Bow shirt, socks up to his knees, and just in his pants, me and my missus walked in. And we were sort of talked about doing a deal there. Then one of the first training sessions, he come walking across the, I don't know if you remember the old high-tech basketball boots. He come walking across the field, no socks on, no laces in, no top on, stomach out, with just a bright pair of red shorts on, going,
You can just imagine him saying that.
But he just lifted everyone. He was really, really passionate. I tell you what really good footballer as well. As really, really good talent. Yeah. And what else did we had with him? In the dressing room, I don't know if it was Jono just about getting one of the baths. He used to have like single baths in, and he brushed his teeth and spat in the water. Probably like Jono's but not even realising, you know what I mean? Things like that. But I mean, he had loads of kids, didn't he? I think my first game at home, these boys were, while he's having a team talk, they're volleying the ball across the dressing room. I was thinking, what's going on here? But he was brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he's the best I've seen in my time. Yeah.
Absolute class.
Yeah, great player. And then your two central midfielders?
It was Martin O'Connor, was the skipper. Keeper was always there.
Played every team.
He's mentioned every week. We might as well have the Martin O'Connor show.
Yeah.
Paul,
we left together. Birmingham City also. We left together. So, but no, his time in the Blues, he was top class. Scoring goals, putting the team. It's a lot of belief that the things you'll be okay. So he's a good skipper, good player, and he deserves to be in the 11.
Okay.
Paul, for next week, Paul, can we have their favourite supporter as well?
Okay.
And then next to Skip in the middle?
Yeah, it was Brian Hughes. Incredible talent. I think he was more Brazilian than me.
he was a genius. What a player! One of the best
for sure. He was unbelievable. I think, in my opinion, and he could play in a top level. Top level. When I say top level, like I think he's from Wales. No,
Yes.
But
he's from Liverpool, and he's from Liverpool.
Yeah. He can. Yeah. So I think he could play in a World Cup. He has this talent, but sometimes
definitely.
The things doesn't happen like we think or we deserve. But he has this talent to do.
It was amazing night. That first game back in the Premier League. That first game in the Premier League, that Monday night was just absolutely amazing, wasn't it?
Brilliant. Yeah. Another atmosphere. I mean, even from their supporters, the atmosphere that it generated. Even though there was only a few of them in the away end, but it was great games to play, and like the West Brom games, the Wolves games, just love them games coming up.
Yeah, the West. We ain't really got a problem with West Brom. The Dingles. Oh God, no, not Wolves, mate. Oscar. Oh no. And
but they were great games to play in. Really good games to play in. Atmosphere-wise.
Yeah, I mean the atmosphere is always good for Baggies game, but like we ain't got that inbuilt hatred for them like we have for them up the street and for them a little bit further north. Yeah,
but look at the job. Look at the job they're doing now.
Yeah, okay.
They're one of the most entertaining teams, isn't they, up there?
Every bubble
at the moment.
Every bubble bursts.
Well, yeah, it will do. Hopefully, they will pass them going the other way, especially.
Quick question from Ray. He says, question for Martin: tackles or free kicks?
Can I have both? Don't be wrong. It's nice. It is nice scoring a goal, but ultimately I'm a defender, and if the ball's there, it's mine, and I'll take everything to win it if I have to. Yeah. Tackles,
And we must say you were an absolute maestro at the free kicks as well.
Yeah, I had one moment.
And he was absolutely fantastic. He's getting on the end of things in the box, getting beyond the front two. He's had an absolutely brilliant engine. And I just have Wardy sitting in there. My front two, Steve Claridge, run all day for you. Brilliant at holding the ball up. always get you loads of goals. I think he scored 20 goals for us, didn't he? Clarence that one season.
20 plus, yeah.
Absolutely fantastic centre forward. Run all day long, really hard to play against, brilliant to have in your team. And with him, I'd put Paul Pesky-Salido, someone really quick, really busy, scores goals, and it can also go in behind. So if Cleggy comes short, I want that ball to go in behind. And Pesh, 9 times out of 10, no one's going to stay with him unless we play Millwall away, where he absolutely shat himself. So I wouldn't take him to Millwall because he's scared of the Millwall fans.
Right.
I don't know if you remember that. We got beat there 2-0 once, and he wouldn't go and collect the ball from off the side of the pitch. I kept on telling him to go and get the ball for a quick throw-in, and he said, "I'm not going off there." He said, "The mental," and that was it. He didn't leave the centre circle all game. so for that, I wouldn't take him to Millwall away. And the manager, I'd have Baz just to get the team going, get the fans going, and the entertainment managers, obviously Ricky and myself.
Yeah.
So we always travel.
Me and Ricky have been legends. We got the team going, win, draw or lose, always on the booze. So not anymore, Ricky. I don't know about you, but not anymore.
Yeah.
So is there any
great side that is, Paul. That's a great team. That is.
That's a great team.
I presume Daishy's the captain.
They should be my captain, and I'd just go for link-ups. So I think what's missing, I don't know if you watched the Grainger Celtic game the other day. I think Ali McCoy was alluding to the fact that the Celtic front two, Edouard and El Nanusi, you don't see it anymore. 2 forwards linking up together.
No,
you understand? It's gone out of the game. It's such a big part of the game. If you've got 2 players in unison, running their socks off up front, holding the ball, making it difficult for defenders, it's so difficult to play against. It really, really is, and you don't see it anymore. But I watched it the other day, and the Celtic team against Rangers, and beat us really, but.
It's happening at Leicester as well, isn't it? With it's happening at Leicester with Vardy and what's his name as well, isn't it?
Iheanacho.
Yeah.
If you've got players all across the pitch working together, centre halves working together, 2 midfielders get to know each other, left back, winger, right back, and they're all getting to know each other and they're working for each other. Okay, you form partnerships all over that pitch. We'll die for each other.
Yeah.
That's what I look for in my teams. I just want to attack. I'd want to attack, especially at St Andrews. There's no time to defend, and all these, sit down looking at the other team playing, trying to stop them playing. I'd just get my team the fittest I could possibly get them.
Ray Howard's just says Hayward has just said about 9 of those will be sent off these days before half time.
Yeah, I have to look at that, won't I?
Yeah. There's a bit of a flaw there. Yeah. You'd have 3 players left.
Hey, you have to make sure you're picking the team to play football and not the team for where we're going out after.
Yeah, I know it'd be a good session after that, wouldn't it?
Two quick fire questions for you both. Who's the best player you've ever played with in your careers and against?
I'll go first. I've said before, Mark Wood is the best player I've ever played with. When he comes to Blues, it's towards the end of his career. He had a great career at West Ham. You only have to speak to West Ham fans about how good he was. In '86, he was, that team that finished 3rd in the top division. He was an incredible player for his age. Honestly, brilliant footballer and a great, really good friend of mine. Had a few problems, obviously, in his life. And the best player I've played against, there's so many. But the one I've played against was Eric Cantona of Man United. And when I walked on the pitch at the Cliff, we played up their training ground, after he'd done that karate kick and that Palace fan. And I saw him when I walked on the pitch, and I didn't realise who he was. He was that big, his stature, the build of him. He was unbelievable. As I've got him, and I've got Gianfranco Zola. He was just frightening, absolutely frightening. Zola, how good he was. But the best midfielder I ever played against was Jamie Redknapp.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
So clever. Absolutely. Because at the time he was at Bournemouth, I was at Birmingham, and he went to Liverpool. I was going to Tottenham. So we were the big thing on the block at the time before I got my injury. But then when he played at Liverpool, I played against him a couple of times, and
you'd have been 8 at the time or something like that. Second there was a free kick, the first thing out of his goal, Grainger.
Sometimes you used to have to fight Devlin, Paul for it. He'd want it, and then if I'd missed, I'd get barked at. To be fair, we had some good takers at the time. I mean, Stan could take them, Paul Devlin could take them, Gary Rowett was a good free kick taker. But I just tried to og as many as I could.
I remember Stan getting a good one on his debut against Fulham in that same game that you talked about earlier.
Yeah, Stan had a lovely left foot. You could tell when I think he had a resting heart rate of 48, he was fit as anything. Yeah. And he lovely bloke as well, Stan. But really top player. I was lucky to have him.
Well, there you go.
West Ham, the West Ham free kick, I would say, was your best from what I saw as well. But Sheffield United as well was pretty special, weren't it, to get us in the playoffs?
Yeah, that was an important goal to get us off to get us on the roll to get into the playoffs. But also rob them away. I quite like the rob them away free kick. But in that game, their centre half scored a better one at the same end. If you remember, McIntosh, I think his name was, unbelievable free kick. He was a left footer as well. Vaguely remember that. Yeah, really, really good free kick. It was probably Benno rooted to his line, couldn't get anywhere near it.
Strange. To think about that, Danny Sonner is a very funny guy. All the time in the West Hills training ground, he's coming to everybody say, we are very, very unlucky because we signed a Brazilian, but looks like an English player. So
you don't look like an English
signed it's very funny the way that he said, but the meaning was like that. He signed a Brazilian player, but he's more English than Brazilian. So we are unlucky. Instead of has a technical Brazilian player, we sign a more English than Brazilian player, So he was, and I think this is why, I stayed 5 years.
Ricky, did you have any pre-match rituals or superstitions, like putting your left boot on first, etc., etc.?
Just have a spliff. if you want to keep it, if you want to keep it 100, if you want to keep it 100, again, you have to remember. I think a lot of people don't realise. I've been in prison 5 times, so I'm coming out with certain idiosyncrasies that if it's not been challenged, if it's not been addressed, I'm just thinking I'm just going on per normal. So for me, smoking weed was normal in my life, where I'm coming from. I had to come out of prison and make a life out of football while I was smoking weed. So unless it's going to be addressed, I just thought, well, I'm getting through. I'm getting by. So my ritual, that was it. I'll drive to the game, just have a little whiff, just to get me in the mood.
Do you ever go back to those days?
Like I said earlier, Rick, we're not interested in why you're in prison or why you're in prison. That's not our interest. How did you make that transition then to become a professional footballer from that bad period in your life?
The truth of the matter is, and I think what a lot of people don't realise, when I was growing up in school, from the ages of 8, 9 years of age, I was at Tottenham Schoolboys at 10, 11 years of age. I was playing for Hackney. I was playing for London. My pedigree in football, I grew up playing against the likes of Paul Ince, David Rocastle, Mickey Thomas, Tony Adams, Paul Merson, because I was playing against those guys in district football. So when I was growing up in school football, I was considered one of the best footballers in London for my age. But what happened is now when I look back on my life, not growing up without a father in my life, in black families, especially mothers, they ain't got no time to go and watch you go and play football because the struggle is real. I grew up in a single parent family. My mum ain't got no time to be standing on a football, watching me play football. She's trying to make 2 ends meet. And a lot of that is like that with single parent families. So you didn't have the backing of your parents. So what happened is when I got to like 14 and I was able to stay out a lot longer, go youth club, girls were getting their shape. You're becoming more aware of yourself and wanting to look nice, go to the disco. I didn't have no one to rein it in and say, Rick, keep focused on football. So what happened at 14, 15, I kind of just went down the street life, got expelled from school, stopped going training, and just got myself into that life. And that's how I eased into crime. So after 5 prison sentences, I think what was the key for me, the 4 times that I was incarcerated, that was in youth custody. And I tend to find in young offenders institutions, no one ain't really trying to help you to get along. Everyone's playing the bad man.
Yeah.
But my last sentence, what I got 4 years for, I served that in adult prison. And while I was in adult prison, I got a good kick up the backside in a nice kind of way. Because while I was in prison, I used to play football for the prison officers, as well as the prison team. But when I done this in big man prison, 2 guys come to me after and they said, mate, what are you doing in there? What are you doing in there? And I thought to myself, what do you mean? Because at first they said I was taking liberties with them. And I said, what do you mean I'm taking liberties with them? Who are you? I don't even know you. But they were saying, bruv, you're taking liberties with us. And they were using choice words. And I couldn't understand why they were annoyed at me. Because I don't know you. And they would say, listen, what we saw you do in the gym the other day, bruv, what are you doing in there? You're throwing your life away. They hadn't seen that level of talent in prison. And so they came to give me a good kick up the backside. And so this is the first time any male adult had spoken anything positive into my life. I was learning about my male masculinity on street. And on street, man just want to make money. So, you know, we're committing burglaries and robberies to make money. But this was the first time someone spoke something positive. I knew I could play football because, like I said, my pedigree is football, always has been. But between 14 and 19, I've been in prison 5 times, but the last time it was with adult prison. And when I was looking at men old enough to be my dad, still in prison, I said to myself, nah, man, I can't be coming out of prison at 30. And so I feel like this was a pivotal moment when them guys saw me play football, come and gave me a good kick up the backside in the nicest way and said to me, bruv, if I was you, don't serve the time, let the time serve me. What they were saying is don't sit down until you get released and then figure out what you want to do. Start doing something about it now. In prisons, they've got some of the best gyms. Yeah. We can be in the gym every day. So what they were saying is prepare yourself now. So once you get released, you can hit the floor running if you get the opportunity. And so that's what I done. I came out and I said, as long as I can keep away from certain men and keep away from certain pool houses and pool cafes, if I can stay on the street long enough, I know I will get the opportunity and the rest will be history. And that's what happened. So my transition into football, it wasn't difficult at all. Because if you go back to my school football, that's all I was doing.